Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes,
Good
you
evening.
can.
Okay. All right. So, what we'll be talking about today is advanced CSS. I will be diving into transition and animation. We're going to transition and animation. So, okay, let me share my screen so that um, okay. So I assume as you are as you are in this class, I assume you are also with your PC or your phones. Each one you are using to code. So am I right? Are you
Yes,
with,
sir.
are you with your PC? Okay. So let's dive in. Okay. Can you all see the screen now? So when we talk about transition, it's CSS transition make changes to properties. Like it can be changing colors from maybe blue or maybe blue to red. Like if you visit some websites and you over some so the nav bar, you will see that it changes color. That's CSS transition. That's how it works. And animation, I know we all know what animation is. What we've once watched cartoon, or some of us here are anime lovers. So, and how this animation works is that it has frames, just like this one now. Where at 0%, that's the starting point. There's a there's a particular property and value you assign to it, and there's also and at 50%, there's also a particular property and value assigned to it. At 100%, there's a particular property and value. So let's go into coding now. So I'm using Sublime Text just because it's simple to. Let me start afresh. Just because it's simple for beginners to adapt to. If I should go into VS Code, it will be very, very, very difficult. Are you all with me? Okay. So
Please, let's try and respond now.
CSS transition and animation. So so let's create a button.
Hello, good evening, boss. Good evening. Your screen is blunt. I'm only seeing lesson objective and CSS transition. I don't know it's from my end.
This
I'm seeing the same
is
thing
not
too.
clear.
Lesson objective and CSS transition. It's clear at
Okay,
my end,
okay,
but that's what I'm seeing. Lesson objective, CSS transition.
Oh, sorry. Let me share the screen. So can you now see it now?
Yeah, I can see your VS Code now.
Right. So I said I'm using Sublime Text because of the simplicity. If I'm to use VS Code is somehow complex. So because of the simplicity and is beginner friendly. So so as I've said, you can see the title CSS transition, sorry, and animation. So I said let's try a button. We are going to use button as example. Then let's just say transition. Let's put transition on button. So you remember to close the tag. So now the transition now is in CSS. So we are going to style our button, and we're also going to add over to it, so that when you over, I mean, you have to save it. Okay, now let's view what this is. Let me just share my entire screen so that everything will be able to view everything at once. Are you still with me? So now I want to share my entire screen so that okay. Where is this now screen? Okay. So now see what I wrote. Transition. That's the button I created. So now we need to start this button. Now let's go into CSS. Before we do that, let's link our CSS. Now I've created a file already for CSS, so that's what I will style the CSS. So inside our CSS, button is our selector, and we add property. So looking at it, let's add we had width and height. Let's say mm, let's say 40 pixel height. Just hit that and you save it. Remember to always save. So if you're using VS Code, it has auto save properties. So now let's go to our browser. Hmm? Why isn't it working? Sorry. Why is this red? I think there's an error here. Why is there? What's my spelling of it? It's correct. So this is the lesson notes. I will also share with the class after everything. So this is what I've prepared already. This is what I'm trying to do. I don't know why it's showing what. So let me copy it.
Sorry, sir. Sir, can you check the way you link the CSS?
Okay, maybe that's where the error is. Right? It's correct.
I don't know if
It's correct.
the type text slash CSS. I don't
The
know. Is
tag,
it supposed to be there?
the what? The
Type,
type.
like the type text slash CSS. I don't know. I don't know about it. It's new to me, actually.
Type, right? This one.
Yeah, yes, that one.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
That's not the issue. But let me paste this one here. The issue, you see, this one is red. Or maybe I didn't save it. Let's refresh. Okay, it's working now. Maybe I didn't save the index page. Now, what we need to do now? Let's over it. Then we are going to add a pseudo character. So that's what we touch after this class. A pseudo character. A pseudo element. Sorry. Button. Up. We all know what over means. Do we know what over means? It's over here.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Not over. Let's say let's use an obvious black color. This color now means the text color. This one now it means the text color, not the background. And let's just use an obvious one. Let's say red or blue. Let's use blue. Then we save. We go back to so now that we over it, you see this transition. This transition. There are some complex login. I don't know if you've seen some complex login details, whereby once you click it, it will show login, and once you click it again, it will show another page for another form for register. So our time is against us. If not, try and touch it. But let us go into the basic basic knowledge. Once we understand the basic knowledge, then we can go into advanced knowledge. That now this is the first example. Now let's go into the second example now. I don't know if you know what if we know what a card is. Let me show you an example what a card is. Okay. Let's let's let me just show you what a card is. Alright. It's cross of so this what the card is. So this is just a website like we do. I was just messing around. If you look at it, it's not even well organized. When you see this thing and this part, they're supposed to align on the same. They're supposed to be on the same level. But I'm just messing around, and since I just got this thing, I didn't touch it again. So this is what card means. You see this? If you're able to put this in a div in a container, this image and everything in a container, that's what the card means. So, okay, I already have it. But I don't have the HTML. So let us tailor this um into that button that I created now. So let us tailor this into the button. So we are still going to look into the properties of transition before we move to animation. Are you guys with me?
No, we are with you.
So what we just need to change is the button. Button. So if you see this one now, it's different from the last one we did. This one is having box shadow. And how do you think it's going to be? That's what I want to do. So when you look this transform, I know you wonder what this transform is, and how will this box shadow to work? Or we say everything. This thing now is the timing. So we'll still look into the properties properly. Now this is the root. You really need this one. No. Let's make it more obvious. Yeah, sorry. Yes. Yeah. You have to save. Can you see? Can you see? This is also transition. Can you see? So let's look into the properties of the transition. There's a website that I would like you all to also be visiting anytime you are coding to guide you. It contains anything you want. Let me show you. I'm not I don't know if you've been there before. This is W3 Suite. Anything you want is there. So now let's look at properties of transition. There are, in coding, I'm sure by now you should know that there are different techniques that even in HTML, there are different tags, some that you know yourself that you don't even need. But those basic ones that you need. And there are different they say, let me speak in proper, they say the different rules. How do you say? They say different rules lead to Rome, or different rules lead to the market, something like that. So you can do the same thing different ways. So let's see CSS transition. I just search it. So you also you'll be able to see the examples they did. You see now, you see this div. Now, this div. This one now, they add the width, they add the transition now. Just going to change the width in 2 seconds. That's the timing too. So they say how to trigger transition. That's over. The other way is to trigger the transition, but the most common and popular way is over. Some transition works some transition doesn't need over, just timing. It works after some timing. See, there's over, there's active, there's focus or checked, and they're all pseudo classes. Our next topic, they're all pseudo classes. So I'm looking for a perfect example that we can try. Let's try this one. Some different speed curves for transition. Let's try this one. So even on this website, so you can also try your codes. You see, just like this interface now, you can write your program here, and you can also display the result here. Can you see? Now this first div, okay, this first div now, they use this properties linear. So you see, and this one is this thing. They are already inbuilt objects inside the CSS. That is, this one now already has its own inbuilt program. Like this one now is the inbuilt program now may be to increase the width. That's why it's working like this. Can you see the difference in the timing? This is what transition means. Are you guys still with me? Okay. Now can you see the width here? So the difference now is in the timing. So the difference now that you are seeing here now is this linear is in, is out, is in and out. That's the difference you are seeing here. They are all using they are all they are all transitioning to 300 pixels within 2 seconds. This is but now this is the 100 with they are all in 100 pixel, the height and the width by default. So when we over it, that's this div over, it will increase to width 300 pixels. And this div one now, the function now, transition timing function, the function linear now. See, you notice that it's faster than this. It's just a hidden function. So this one now is already defined. Can you see? It's already defined in the program. So let's look for another example to try. See how it works. Now there's transition delay. over the div element to see transition effect. Can you see? Now let's study the code now. The div with transition with 3 seconds. So now they add the property transition delay for 1 second. That is when we override it for 1 second, it didn't react. It delays for 1 second. Can you see? When we override it, it delays for 1 second. It's still increasing to 300%. Now let's try transform. Just like what we did here. This transform. This type of transition now. What if you see it's left its original position past transform, and how does it work? When it transform, it translates to y. And if you remember your math class, when you are plotting graph, y-axis is what is horizontal or vertical. Please answer. Y-axis is horizontal or vertical? Are you guys still with me?
Vertical. You are talking about the y-axis now.
Yes. So that's what happened here. We can also change this figure, and we can let's try x, and it will transform in another direction. We have to save it. Go to refresh. And you see, after we tried x, can you see it's transforming in another position? So you can also add it. Now, as I told you, though this one is not having much. It's not having any transition. The only difference now is that once you override it, giving its underlining is on this dash. I think this as yeah. Can you see? Or it's not transforming. It only changes color. That's this is just Nava is the most common example of where transition works. So let's look at transition properties. Um, let's see the properties will be here. You can also, after the class, you can also comment. There are different. This property I'm talking about. There are different things. This site now will make you understand what you see. There are different topics you can touch from here. There are different topics. So let's go into the properties. There's transition, just like how it is here. There's also transition delay. I told you specify a delay in seconds for a transition effect. There's transition duration. Those 2 seconds that you are seeing, that's the duration. Specify how many seconds transition effect takes to complete. Now, transition property. Specify the name of the CSS property. Transition effect is on, like that transform. That is transition property. This transition timing function. Specify the speed curve of the transition effect. That's what we saw at that where they are where I think here. No, here. What they use now is a transition timing function. That's why you can time different divs. I see, and they are um, transitioning different. They are not transitioning the same way. Can you see? One is faster than the other. See this one now, slower than this. So at least I think we are good to go to animation. So what's the animation? Someone should just tell me what they understand by animation. Are you guys still with me? And someone tell me what they understand by animation.
Yes, sir. Yeah, animation in
What?
CSS
Okay.
is basically making making things move through your styling, like changing of colors, spinning, sliding. Yeah,
Okay.
CSS.
Who has another opinion? So, okay, you are right. You are correct. So, transition, um, animation now. Yes. CSS animation creates more complex multi-step visuals. Effects. Now I told you using keyframes. Now I told you they are keyframes. At a particular frame, you want so particular action to happen. Then at a particular frame, you are going to specify how it works at different keyframes. They can make elements move, fade, spin, or grow automatically, not just on over. On with transition now, it's only with over or just common with over. You have to over the element for it to transit. Yes. But with animation now, it starts automatically. You don't need to over. So with properties and so yes, this is just the syntax now. At this is the keyframe. This is the then you call the animation name. Then at a keyframe now at 0%, that's the beginning. There's particular property and value. 50% particular property and value. 100% is particular property and value. So let's bounce symbol. Should we try this one? I don't remember to add the HTML of this. Let's try this. Okay. Just use the style we have before. Bounce symbol. That is. Let's create a div. Like if you are going to create a bouncing ball now, we are going to create a div. And we are going to add a border radius. Think that that's way you can get the ball. Yes, if it's not perfect. Animation. Sure. So let's create a div. Follow it. Div. What should we add? Okay, let's add animation. So let's try and tailor this to our style, our CSS. Let's use div. Yeah, border radius. I think that's how it should be. Then this transform to, can you see that is at at on the 0%, that's at the beginning. You transform and translate y to 0. That's the original position. And now it's not translating it to any particular position. Then at 100%, then at 50%, to transfer she translates y-axis to minus 25%. Then at 100% we go back to original. Let me just modify this so that you understand. Okay. Let's see. Let's add 75 so that to be more obvious. Let's say minus 50. Let's say minus 50. Or let's say Excel. Let's just see how it goes. We can make changes later. Let's go back to normal. Okay. And let's even try. Now this animation here now, you wonder what does this animation means. You know that this now is the animation name bounce. You can also split it. You can split it like animation animation name. You see the properties under animation. It's animation name. That's bounce. That's the name. There's also animation duration. This is duration. When we go into the properties, now we know what this is and infinite means. Now split it. Just like when you are giving your uh, your your padding padding top, yeah, your bottom padding, bottom margin, yeah. When you are giving those elements property value, that's just how it is here. Now let's save it and also save this one. And let's go back to our tab. Can you see? So if you notice, this circle is not. You see how it's working. I don't need to override it. So our design is not good. Let's try and improve on it. Oh, 50. Yeah, is it 50? Exit. Let's say we make it 500. Or let's say there's no even name on it. There's no animation in it. So I have to save our nice push. Nice. It's bouncing. But just look at my mouse movement. What if you make this like this now to move like this from here? And let's say this is the original position. From here, from here, from here, from here to just in form of a square to move from here to here. to here, to here, to here. So I don't know if you I don't know the perfect website to use for you as example now. Have you opened some websites and you see the like before anything you see it's loading like this, and that's animation. Doesn't necessarily mean maybe the thing is really loading anything. It because that thing just work is whether some say it won't even load because maybe if you're having a very fast network, it won't even load. That thing is just animation. So let's go to this, or let me see if I have some other examples here that we can try. And this one is opacity. Do we all know what opacity is? That is, it won't yeah, it will fade in, just like the name opacity. That is, it will show here. Then at opacity one now, it will not show. Then it will fade in and fade out. Now let us go and check more examples. Animation. Animation. Start. So yeah, what's an animation? An animation lets an element gradually change from one style to another. You can change as many CSS properties you want, as many times as you want. To use CSS animation, you must specify some keyframes. It's just like I've told you for animation. Keyframes hold what style the element will have at certain times, just like I've told you. So let's look at some of the examples. Let's see. This one we have some example. Yeah, like now, let's try and study the code before we try it. At keyframe from, yeah, you can also use from instead of percentage. You can also use from and to. But at from and to now, you only have two options. That's from and to. While with percentage, you can have, there's 100, you can have as many as 1 to 100 keyframes you want. So now, from background color, now to, that is, now you know that the background color is changing from red to yellow in 4 seconds. See the animation duration. Now let's run it. Can you see? In 4 seconds. Wrong. And unlike, let me tell you something about animation. Unlike transition that will just change instantly. Animation will change instantly. It will like just like this now. It didn't just disappear from here to here. See it moving. And that's animation for you. So now let's try another example. Let me close this one. Let's look at another example. Can you see this? Now let's study the code. You see at 0%, the brown color is red. It's still like, but let's see how it works. Can you see? You can also alter the code. Let's put 2 seconds and we run. Can you see how it's working? Now let's look for another more fascinating example. This one seems basic. This one, let's study the code first. Background color red, left, up, little pixel. Let's see what it does. Nice. Yeah, can you see? Just like I explained the other time, that when I ask you guys to uh, watch my mouse movement, can you see? This is how it works. So here now you can also move. You can also put some property left instead of that transform property. I don't know if you can still remember why you say translate X in animation. You can also use this left. Can you see left top? You can also do the same thing using translate. That is now when you are moving into um towards this side now. The first action now towards this side now. You will say that's um translate this horizontal, right? So you say translate X, then the value will be 200 pixels. Or it's positive. If you want to move this towards this side, you use minus 200 pixels. So let's see whether the other examples. I'll also give you homework to try. This one it's not really showing any animation. Where is it? I think it is. This one has all. Let's see what it does. Let's see the. I think this is what we tried now. No, this one. Okay, this one is different, but it's similar to this to the other one. The first the that one that we checked last. What is similar to it? Let's see if there will be another example. No, it's also having keyframe. So we'll be seeing that. Okay. We'll be seeing that there's no keyframe at in the website. Meanwhile, when you click it, there's also keyframe. Because without keyframe, there's no way it will animate. Just like I told you, it's just unlike transition. It's not just changing instantly. It's gradually changing. You see how it's gradually changing into those colors. Not just instantly. Unlike transition. Transition now we just change to green instantly, blue instantly, yellow instantly. No, I think should we still let's continue. Let's go to pseudo classes. Though there's no much things to do under pseudo classes. Let's go to pseudo classes. Hope you understand. And if you have any question, you can ask or type as your situation maybe. So are you guys still with me now? So are we good to go? Are we continuing with pseudo classes and elements?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So instruction. So I'm looking for the materials. A minute, please. Just give me 1 minute. Get the materials. So who will someone to tell me what you or she understand as and pseudo materials, pseudo classes. Just without talking about pseudo classes. I just tell me what you understand by pseudo. Just a word. Something you understand by pseudo. Someone should just tell me. Just a word. Are you guys with me? What do you understand by pseudo? Someone should just tell me. Anywhere you see pseudo, what does it mean? Pseudo. Okay. Let me bail. Let's bail ourselves out. Anywhere you see pseudo, it means force. It means force, like acting. It's not really like classes, CSS class. But this one now, it's not really
You said
active.
what?
It means force. FALSE, force. Anywhere you see pseudo, it means force. So pseudo classes, it's not really, the class, the CSS classes that you are the one that you create them. When you are using classes in your CSS style, you are the one that create the style in this the class. But this one now is pseudo, is a force class. One popular example now that we've done now is this over. Okay, let's just dive into it. That we understand. Okay, and CSS pseudo classes and pseudo elements let you style element based on special conditions or specific parts of content that can't be tied with regular selectors. Pseudo classes are used to define a special state of an element like over or focus. I don't know if you understand what focus means. If focus also a type of over, um, but it works with form. That is, if you are trying to register form, let's say you want to insert a label. Let's say your name. Now, once you over the label now, it will change color. That's focus. To change to like blue. I don't know if you understand. Okay, let's use Facebook for example. Now. Okay, let me share this tab with you. Let me share the tab. Uh, uh. So this is what I'm talking about. Can you all see the tab now? So this is what I'm talking about. And you see, once you click on it, it changes color. And you see the outline, the border of the box. And you see, that's focus. Can you see? Focus. There's also active. But active is different. Active means once it's active, it means you can write anything on it. But once it's not active, you can't write anything on it. So let's move forward. Okay, let me share this screen. Okay, so I used to define the special state of an element like over or focus, while pseudo elements are used to style specific parts of an element like first first letter, or adding content before uh, before or after. So I don't know if you've seen some, maybe some those textbook, then you see the first letter. You see the first letter as maybe higher font size, something like this. You can also do it with in a website by using pseudo elements. As is, you use the end of a particular, you will get there. So you understand the end. You can say first, you can say second, you can say third. Let's say you want to have two paragraphs. You can say the first paragraph should be so style. You can put so style so to a specific paragraph. So now let's look at the syntax now. Pseudo class, you have selector. You have the pseudo class property, value, understand everything. Just like I've told you. Over. Now that's the pseudo class. Common pseudo. Now I told you we have over, we have focus, we have active, and we also have visited. I hope you all know what this visited means. How will I explain this visited? Uh, um, now that I've gone to Facebook now, okay. Let me share this one so that you understand what visited means. You must, I know you all browse, so you must have seen it. You must understand what it means. Now that I've visited this Facebook link now let me close it out. Let me type Facebook afresh. And you see the color. You see this, the color changes from the other side. If I click this and I go back again, the color will change. I know we've all been noticing it, but we don't really know what. So that's visited. That's that that's what that class, that property means, visited. So let's move forward. go back to our document. So we have first child. That first child is it's also like nth child. But like now this nth child now you can just put first one. That's for this one now has infinite number. Why this first child now? You know, that's just as the name implies, first child is that first property. Targets the first element. So it targets the nth element in a group. So, so now we have 14 over. So let's see where do you really apply uh, see what I'm saying now. That pseudo now implies you see this is a class, but it's a pseudo class. In the code in the HTML, you didn't this you didn't really okay. Let's just create a form so that to explain it better. Let's create a form. I hope you all know how to create form. Let's see. Let's just keep it simple. Uh, we also have label type, you understand? But let's keep it simple. Spelling is wrong. Okay. Oh, I've not shared the screen with you guys. So can you all see the on screen now? Remember to close your tag. Let's just keep it simple. No, you have type. Let's keep it simple for now. Let's use that. We have input type text name. Let's put on down give the password. Sorry, yeah, we need to add type to password. Ah, so password. So let's save. Let's cancel this CSS. So this one is on the same line. So we are going to bring this one the next line. We can also do that by putting them in a div, or we just add is it line break they call it, HR I think, or BR. But let's just add the style. Let's add the CSS first. I already have the styling. So now when you just like I explained how the focus is, when you put this input now, when you add this property, this input does focus. Now the borderline will change to this color. That's this color. That's this color. Just like I showed you on that Facebook. So that's what we're just trying to recreate. See, and it also have, if you look at it well, just you will know that it has that's box shadow. The box is having shadow. So that's what we are trying to recreate here. So are you guys still with me? So now let's copy the CSS. I think it's BR. So another way to do, you can just, instead of, I just put it in a div. This one in div. That's div what do you call it? Is a block. It's a block element. A block element meaning div. The div alone stands on its own. Once you put an element in this, let's say you put this this in a div now. It's a block element. It won't once when it's showing on your on your browser. Let's say this is the label, this is the input. Let's say this is a div now. Once it's showing this one, once this one is a div, that is a block element. This one will automatically go to the next line, unless you set the properties to be inline block. So part of that's is part of CSS positioning and stuff like that. So let's check. Okay, I see that's adjusted, but they are still the same. This one, okay, let me put here on this one. So without wasting much of our time, can you see the active that focus? Let's say we want to change the color to. Let's use something like red and see if it will work. Block shadow, border color. Instead of let's put red. And we save it. So we save it. And you see, it means this thing is the border is active. The box is active. So I think we should call it a day. So our next class, we are just going to continue from where we stopped. So I will announce your 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 classwork or assignment. No, let's say it's assignment. So I'll give you your assignment in the group so that you can show so that you can be more, because I know now after this class some of us will just abandon it like that, thinking we know it. Um Coding is more about practice. Once you don't practice, you can there's no one that's perfect. But at least it's encouraging to know that at least you are, at least even if you're not perfect, you're at least well to do. So you have to practice to understand more on how to even apply these things. So I think we'll call it a day now. So if anyone of you have a question for me now, I think this is the right time to ask. So do you have any question? Is there any question for me? Hello, are we still? There is any question for me? Or we call it a day?
Thank you very much, sir. No question from our end.
Okay. So I hope with the after I give you the assignment, there will be question so that I will know that you are really understanding the topic. So I will look for a more complex one so that now that there's no question, I look for a more complex assignment for you so that I will, because now it shows that you understand all our lessons. So I'll look for a more complex example that we'll try together. Okay. Have a wonderful night's rest. Thank you for the class. And please, our next class, where it will be sure for how to become.
Good evening, sir. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me, please? Please, I will send the attendance to your DM. Anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I will send the attendance form to your DM. Thank you.
So am I free to end the class now?
Yes, sir. Please. Thank you, sir.
Hey, is the class over?